Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We are about 1 week before Christmas, a little bit more than 1 week before Christmas, and crunch time is on now. Today's card is not going to be a Christmas card because I'm kind of looking forward to the new year. And a lot of us have already, if you're making Christmas stuff, we're down to crunch time, so we're not really looking for new things to make. We probably already decided what to make, and we're just kind of executing. I will also say on this Friday, I'm not going to be doing anything new, but I thought it'd be fun maybe if we got together on, I'm going to do a YouTube Live, and I thought we would revisit an old tutorial that I had done, something that you can do while we're sitting around, and so I thought we would just kind of do that together if you wanted to, and that will be this Friday. And then I am taking off for Canada on Sunday, and heading up there for until the new year. So I will not be going live during those times. I am trying to get at least my Casing Tuesdays done as video productions for the next 2 weeks, but I just have to see how things go because us women, a lot of us, maybe there's some men on here too, and I'm sorry if I apologize if you are on here and you are, a crafty person. A lot of the work falls on women at Christmas to get things done, or whether it's Christmas or the holidays. So we are super, super busy. And so anyway, I'm going to try and get something out for the Tuesdays. But if not, I will see you back in the new year with new projects. We're going to be diving into Valentine's Day right away in January as soon as possible. So I hope you will all have a wonderful holiday. And so let's talk about Casing Tuesday. So today's card, let's take a look at it right here. Today's card, we always take our cards out of a current holiday catalog, so our sample is a holiday card out of the catalog. I like this card because it's kind of easy to build things up. On first look, you might think, okay, that might be hard to layer things, but I'm actually thinking I would consider the stocking, the plant, the berry bow, and the gift as like kind of one element. So don't think you have to have 3 different elements there. It can just be one, and make it easy on yourself. Sometimes it would be hard to layer those together. In fact, if I had layered those together myself, I would think that's too many things in one area. I like the card though. When I saw it, I liked it. But if I did that and I scrutinized it, I would think that's a lot in one area because they're all kind of the same size, same color, and not necessarily the same shape, but they all kind of are equal. So I would probably, if I were a beginner or even just to simplify things, I would just maybe put one element there and maybe put some subordinate elements around that to keep it simple. But here is the sketch, and this will just give you kind of starting measurements. I did change a couple of the measurements around a little bit just to suit my card, and you can absolutely do that. We have a Facebook group that you can join. The link is down below in the description of the video, and you can post your own card there. You can see what other people have posted, and you can comment on the cards. Maybe you aren't you don't want to post your own card, but you would be happy to give us some comments on our own cards, spread some joy, make us feel good about our cards. You can absolutely do that as well. So that is today's card, and this is my card today. This is with the Pop-Up Petals bundle. And if you open it up, I did use a pop-up element on the inside. This is so easy to do with this bundle. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's just so easy peasy, but this is the outside just from the Casing Tuesday. And I love the way it came out. And I do like blue greens. So this was kind of a fun card to build up. So we will dive right in to that. Before we do that, though, I just want to reiterate that we have this paper right here is called the Product of the Month. And if you place an order in December and it reaches $75, you can add this to your order for only $5. Now, normally this would retail for about $12.50. It is gorgeous. One of my, I'm gonna grab it. I haven't used it yet. Actually, I was supposed to use it today. Maybe I'll use it on a subsequent card. I was like thinking I should use it, but then I hadn't put it with my other current paper yet, and so I didn't see it. Because actually, since we're doing a blue card today, it would have been perfect for that. I'm going to slit this open and I'm going to show you the patterns when we do this card. Because actually, some of those patterns would look really nice with this particular card. So that would be a cool thing. So this paper is only available as a product of the month, and just by placing a $75, you can add it to your order for $5. So it's a very good deal. This is while supplies last, but it is the December product of the month. I don't know how many they brought in, but I did place an order for someone yesterday and it was still available, so hopefully it will still be available when you go and place your order. I think that's all I need to say for right now. So I'm gonna pop in over to my other camera and we will get started with this card. Okay, first of all, let's just take a look at this paper. It's called True Blue Florals. When you're in your shopping cart, I'm going to turn down my heat one notch. It'll be a little less noisy. Okay. When you are shopping, once you hit the $75 threshold, you will notice a little thing in your cart that tells you you earn the product of the month. Make sure you add it to your order because there's no way to add it after the fact. Ask me how I know. So here, look at this beautiful paper. I think some of these would have looked nice on mine. There's that one. You get two, it's 12 sheets of 12 by 12, and you get 2 of each double-sided pattern. Look at that. So pretty. There's that pattern. If I had done this card, I probably would have changed out my my blues just a little tiny bit because I think I'm going to check the colors of blue. This is just a little tiny bit off the Lost Lagoon. But there we go. So the colors in here are Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. So if I had done this card using this paper, I would just switch out my blues a little bit to make it look right, because you don't want to have your blues clashing. The bundle that I'm using here is called Pop-Up Petals. It is available right now. I don't like to demonstrate products in advance because I don't want people to be disappointed and not be able to get things when I'm demonstrating them. So this is available. We do have new packaging, and I just want to share, I'm going to be sharing this for a while. I saw Alyssa Tilsner from Australia had a great tip on doing, on creating guide for the inside, because the stamped images are on the outside, but when you want to place them back onto here, the original placement's a little bit different. So what I did was I peeled off the top sheet, and the hard sheet, the one that it's more stuck to, I put this down here with tear and tape with this stuff, and I put a line here and a line here, and then I ink this up with my Secret C ink pad. I like using Secret C because it does a better job with bold images sometimes than Tuxedo Black will, but any color, any dark color will do, or even a light color, whatever color you choose. Ink it all up while on here. Then what I would do is you just close your sheet and you do this, and you press down, and you'll have your images stamped over on this side. Then I took the top sheet and I adhered it over top of here. So now what I'll do, like if I want to place something back, I mean, I could kind of guess where this goes, but if you take this and you line it up right here face down, like stamping side down, and then you close this up, and then you lift this off, it will go into its correct placement. And this way you can kind of see really quickly all your greetings and stuff right from the inside, and you'll know that this is over here and everything. So I think that is kind of a neat way for now. I think Stampin' Up! Is working on a solution so that we have like a sheet on the inside or stamping on the inside, so that we know where things need to go back onto the sheet, because they are arranged in such a way that sometimes it makes it difficult to put it back, like it's like a puzzle, and you don't want to have to be doing a puzzle every time you stamp, right? So that's just kind of a stopgap measure until Stampin' Up! Can figure out what it is exactly that us stampers need. They didn't think we needed that, but I think absolutely we do. And I trust that Stampin' Up! Will come up with a solution for that in the future. But for now, we've got a temporary fix. Okay, so the pop-up petals and the dies, they now come in like packaging like this. So I just buy these magnet sheets, and when I get my die, I'm just going to pop this back in here. This is a hard thing with a magnet on the back. So I'm going to sort this with this, and then this just slides back into its case. I've tucked the flap in here while it is still available. I am going to have those flaps tucked in so I can very easily pull out my stamp set in and out. And I'm going to store these together in bins. I have ordered some bins. I will be sharing those bins with you probably next year, because they're not coming in until Friday. So that probably means I won't get them in time to share them with you this year, but I'll be sharing with you how I'm going to be storing these on my Billy bookcase from IKEA. All right, that's just a little aside. Let me pull this back out because I need these to make my card. I'll pop those over there and this over here. Okay, so here is the card, and as I showed you, it just pops open here. I have not stamped here on the inside yet because I think you could change the type of card it is. It could be a thank you card. It could even potentially be a birthday card. So I'm going to leave the greeting blank on the inside for now so that I can choose what kind of card it will be when it comes down to it. So to make this card, I'm going to start off with a piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock that is 11 by 4 1/4. And I already scored it in half at the 5.5 inch mark. You can do this either on a scoring board or your Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And we're going to fold this in half and use the bone folder to smooth down the fold. we are going to be using some of this beautiful paper. Now, this paper's been around for a few months already. This is the Florals and Bloom paper, and it is great. It's great for going into spring, so it will still be available. And on one side, you've got some beautiful floral patterns. And yes, I would love to use this. If this was going to be my focal point, I would totally, this would look really, really beautiful on here. But I want to add a floral. So if I use the really busy side, it's going to make everything very busy. So I'm going to use the back side. And this piece is 3 inches by 4 1/4. And we're just going to glue this down. I would say probably around 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch from the edge. And we're going to center it from top to bottom. I think this is actually, I want to say this is cloud cover. The color is cloud cover, but I think it looks really nice with the Lost Lagoon. You could also use cloud cover cardstock though if you wanted to, or maybe even Pool Party, but I think there's a little bit more gray in the cloud cover than there is in the Pool Party. Okay, so next up we're going to need to do some die cutting. So we're going to need to cut the banner. We're going to need to cut a little flower. So let's go ahead and stamp some of the things that we need. Where's my ink pad? It's right under here. I'm going to stamp this in Secret Sea ink here. We're going to die cut that. We're also going to do, I'm going to stamp right now, so we can die cut it right now. We're going to do Lost Lagoon vase. What do you like better, vase or vase? I don't know. I keep switching my, changing my mind on that. Okay, we're going to stamp that down. Right now, my Lost Lagoon ink pad is a little bit on the lighter side, on the drier side. So if you have a very inky Lost Lagoon ink pad, it's going to be a little bit more intense. So, but I just kind of left it at its inky state the way it wants to be right now. And then, I'm just gonna, we're gonna do the inside piece that we're going to die cut for the pop-up too. So I'm just gonna mention this right now. This piece is 10.5 by 3 3/4, 10.5 by 3 3/4. And I went ahead and I scored this at the 5 1/4 inch mark. So it's scored right here. That's the halfway point of the 10.5 inch length. And I'm not going to fold this right now because we're going to die cut first and then we're going to fold. Okay, so we have all our pieces that we need to die cut. So let's just pop things aside and let me grab my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. And because of the width of this piece here, we're going to use our big machine, but if not, we probably could have used our smaller machine for the smaller die cuts, but okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put down my base platform number 1, my thin die adapter number 2, and my plate, 1 plate. It's supposed to be clear, but this plate has been much loved. It was clear at one point. Okay, so let's do some die cutting. We'll do these two first. We're gonna do the flower and the vase. Let's see if I'm going to live dangerously. Let's see if I can do this without taping them down. Okay. I have to be very careful. I'm putting pressure on here because they are, I think, centered right now, and I don't want it to shift as it kind of goes through. Oh, I can kind of see my gauze shifted a little bit, but we'll see if it's okay. You know what? It did shift a little bit. I should have pinned it down. But my rose turned out beautifully. Oh, well. I think I have a vase that I die cut earlier that is more centered, so we'll probably just go ahead and use that one. All right, so we'll set that aside for a moment. A lesson. When you're doing stamped images, it might be better to tape them down. Okay, so now we're going to use this die set here. This is the Stylish Shapes dies. And we are just going to, this one I don't necessarily need to pin down because if it shifts, I'm just cutting into cardstock. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it stays on its cardstock piece, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. So that one we don't need to tape down. Okay. So let's set that aside. And then I'm going to put this over here. All right. So in a previous card I made with the pop-up petals dies, I made it in a different orientation. Let me grab that card if I still have it somewhere. Maybe not. Still have it. Oh my goodness. I don't know where it is. Okay. A few weeks ago I made a card using it had 3 pop-ups in the inside, but it was in the landscape mode, so I used this shorter piece. This one's a little longer, and because we're doing a portrait card, I can use this one this time. You can choose either one, kind of depending on what you're popping onto the piece. You can choose whatever one you want. What you want to do is, if you want your centered, it doesn't need to be centered, but I'm going to center mine. You just pop your piece, and there's little tiny ticks on here. You can see little kind of pointy things. You just need to point those right on to the score line. So I just make sure it looks somewhat centered, and those little tick marks are right along the score line. And then I'm going to carefully place this. It still looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and just die cut this piece. Basically, this just takes the work out of doing a pop-up piece, and it comes out perfectly every time. So that is what it looks like. And pop that back on here. And I think we've done all the die cutting we need to do. So I'll pop this out of the way. All right. Okay. Now we need to build our card. I'm going to grab my little flower first. And we're going to take 2 colors, Lost Lagoon and Flirty Flamingo. We'll start off with our Lost Lagoon light, and I'm just going to brush on the Lost Lagoon onto the leaves. And I'm using Lost Lagoon because it's a blue-green, and it's going to go well with our card base. If I was doing a different color blue, I could choose another color of blue, that would work, or I would go with a green, but for this one, I just kind of wanted everything to match nicely. So while that is still a little wet, I'm just going to choose my dark Stamp and Blend, and I'm just going to come in and randomly select a few segments of each leaf to make darker, just to add a little bit of interest to the leaves. You can barely see it, right? Let's see. But the recipient, with better lighting and with the card in front of them, they will be able to see that. I am just going to brush this on. This is Flirty Flamingo Light. I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo Dark, and I'm just going to hit some of these outer petals first, and then I'm going to work my way in. I'm just kind of, again, randomly selecting some of the petals to have dark on them, and that's the way it turned out. All right, bring back in our card base. This piece right here in the original card, it has a straight end to it. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to line up the end with a 3-inch mark, and then just cut this so it's 3 inches long. Then I'm going to grab a piece of basic white. This piece is 3 1/4, I believe. Where did my ruler go? Let's double check. It is 3 1/4 by 1 1/2. We'll take our greeting, and I'm going to use Secret Sea again. It's a dark blue black. I really like it for instead of using black. Sometimes I know some of you with really great eyesight will be able to see it's a blue black, but me is yeah, I don't have such great eyesight. So to me it just looks black. So all right. So next up, we're going to adhere this, and again, I'm going to center this on here. Every time I hear a noise, like I have to run and look outside. I'm not going to do it right now, but we have a dumpster on our driveway right now, and it was supposed to be picked up yesterday, and it wasn't. And so now every time, oops, okay, we can't glue this down yet. Every time I hear a noise, I think it's someone coming to pick up the dumpster. But there's also my neighbor across the street is doing his kitchen. So he's also getting stuff dropped off at his place. So it could be that too. So like, I don't know. I have to be involved with everything. Just like, I don't know. It's just my personality. I want to know what's going on. I think I get it from my dad. My dad was always very interested in everything that was going on. It's not so much being nosy, it's just so much being curious, right? Like I just am so curious. I love to know all the things. Maybe that's why I started off as a librarian. I needed to find all the answers. I still don't have all the answers though. Okay, so there is the base of the card. Basically, I kind of just centered the banner right here, and it's just a little bit out like that, because when I come and do the rose, I kind of want the rose to be partly on the banner, but I don't want it centered. Somehow centered looked a little bit too contrived to me. I just want it to be like a little bit like off, right? Because it's kind of like a shadow banner behind everything. So now we can take our rose and just add it on to here. And that was like a pretty simple die cut, right? Like it was pretty simple. It's a very small area to color and in general just to do. Now, if you had like a flower and you had some other pretty die cut leaf pieces behind that, you could like add to this little flower. I like it just kind of just simple and kind of cute. Then I tied a little baker's twine bow and I was kind of hemming and hawing. Do I put it here? Do I put it here? This looked too centered. And then I just decided I would pop it over here and kind of give my greeting a little bit of prominence. So this is just from the Essential Baker's Twine. I just tied a little tiny bitty bow and I'm just gonna glue the knot, put a little dot of glue, and then I put my bow right into that glue, just into the knot. It holds pretty well actually. Then what we're gonna do is add some hexagons to my card, and these are the shades of green hexagons. I love these. They look really good with this particular card here. I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to use, come here, one of these. We'll put this one up. Come on, up here. Oh, did I lose my adhesive? No. Where is, oh, it flipped over. All right, there we go. Adhesive flipped over. And then we're going to use one of these. And we'll just kind of pop this up here. And that kind of just gives a little bit of sparkle to the card. Okay, let's finish off the inside of the card. So we're gonna fold this way, and then this one gets folded the other way. So I'm just kind of telling the card, just kind of starting off the folds to see where they go. And just trying to get them to go the right way. So we've got some valley folds and a mountain, but basically you're going to fold this little piece that we die cut into a little box. I want to grab, let me grab, oh, you know what? I didn't die cut. See, I have an extra one of these. I'm just going to go ahead and die cut it real quick. Okay, let's see if we can do a better job with this one. Because I just did not like the way that other one came out. I'm going to be picky this time. I think sometimes when you're only die cutting one thing, you can kind of concentrate on the thing a little bit more. Okay. And then it's not the second thing that's going through, and hopefully, I don't think this one shifted. Oh, it looks like it did shift again. Oh, I should have taped. But I don't think it shifted as badly. It's a little bit better. Okay. I will keep that one. Shifty. That's why you need to tape things down. Sometimes I'm just too lazy to do that though. Okay, I did cut myself a floral earlier. And we're just going to add this. And the other thing is, since this is on a white background, you won't notice so much that it's not perfectly centered. If this had like a darker background, then it would be more noticeable. So then I might like redo it again. Okay, so I'm just gluing the tip of that rose. You're losing my voice. The tip of the rose to the vases. See, it doesn't go all the way down. It just goes part way down. But you want to use something good like glue, not just, I wouldn't use like this type of adhesive for that because the glue is going to hold better long term. And we're going to glue this. Just going to kind of put a little bit of glue in the center here. Don't want it to go over to the sides because this is a little wider than the actual piece. And I'm going to glue this maybe about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And this has a lot of height for the you know, for the folds. So because we've done it in like portrait mode, there's lots of height. So, and then I just want to add a few little butterflies. I'm going to repeat my little pattern here. So what you want to do is, I'm going to kind of keep this up here like this, because when it's down here like this, that's not an accurate picture. It's going to kind of want to sit open a little bit. So you're going to kind of want it, the butterflies, to be up higher than you think. So I'm going to kind of keep this partly like in a 90-degree angle so I can kind of see where to pop the little butterflies. Okay, then we'll put that away. We'll just grab our Darling Duckling and we'll grab a Lost Lagoon. And I'm just going to hit these butterflies. I'm going to make them yellow. The reason yellow, I could have made little pink butterflies to match exactly and not introduce a new color. But I don't know. I thought maybe we did need one more color. Just a little yellow to make this a little happy. And then we're just going to hit the centers with a little bit of Lost Lagoon. Okay, and I mean, this pop-up is so easy, and you can pop up whatever you want. Once you have these dies, you can pop up other things. You can use it with the florals, but you know, it's very easy to create pop-ups. And if you go back a few weeks, you'll see how I did 3 in a row. And you can do different sizes of pop-ups on the same card, especially if you have the room when you're doing like the horizontal, the landscape mode. You can do the different sizes. Just keep in mind, you want to test out your pop-ups to make sure that when they close, they don't stick out of the card. This rose is quite large, so you know, I'm kind of can see through here. This one, if you use this particular die cut, the bigger one, or the bigger die, it would stick out. If you had done it like this with the larger one, it would stick out on a landscape card. So you would just need to make some micro adjustments. Use the smaller die. Put this right down at the bottom. Maybe decide to put to truncate your rose a little bit and make it start right here, like cutting off those leaves right there and making the stem go down a little bit more into the vase. So you can make some micro adjustments so that you can have the rose on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue right at the top and right at the bottom of the card. I am not going to put glue all the way to the end here, because with die cuts and folds like this, the card does need a little room to move around a little bit. So I'm going to position this here. You want it centered. And I'm just going to kind of get it into place here. And then I'm going to close it up. Just kind of make sure it's like somewhat straight when it closes. And then I'm going to close it up. Let's see. All right, and glue does take a little bit of time to dry, just a few seconds. So if it didn't look good, just peel it up real quick. But this worked out pretty well. Now you'll notice that at 90 degrees, it's pretty close to here. As you pull it out, if you flatten it, it's going to gap a little bit. That's intentional. That's why I don't put glue in the center. It helps your card open and close when you're doing like a pop-up. So it doesn't feel super bulky. Now it's going to want to have the tendency to spring up a little bit because it does have that extra bulk in it. But there you go. There's the card. Super cute, right? I love this bundle. There are different ways to do this sort of cut into your card. You could do it with scissors too, but I'm telling you, this is like so much easier because you can position things with that little die and make it easy for yourself, because this card truly was really kind of fast to make for a pop-up card, right? So it's kind of like the easy button for your pop-ups. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I think this is a good card going into the new year. Or maybe you're still making a card. Maybe you have that pine tree, what is it called? Pine tree trimmings bundle. Maybe you have this bundle. And maybe you want to put a Christmas tree in the middle of your card. You could die cut this. You could put a tree on the front, and then you could have a tree pop up in the center with the pop-up petals. So be creative with this bundle. You have those little pieces that little dies that you can use for other cards in the future. So thank you all for being here and watching my video today. I appreciate that. If you're not already a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. That all helps me get seen by other people, and it allows me to do what I do. I am known a lot for my 3D designs, and I do those on Friday. We are going to, on Friday, during the live, we're going to do a project I have done in the past, and you can work along with me and just have fun, just creating something that you can, just kind of in the spirit of the holiday, and right as we go into Christmas the following week. Or if you celebrate another holiday, happy Hanukkah to all of those who celebrate. Hanukkah started this week. So, all right. I always go through and talk about the comments afterwards because I do get distracted. So I'm going to say hello to everyone. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Marge. And I think we have some better weather this morning. I have beautiful sunshine. It's cold out there. I'm hoping to get an outdoor walk in. The last few days have been absolutely brutally cold. So I'm hoping for an outdoor walk later this afternoon because I have been just breathing the indoor air for way, way too long. Hello, Diana. And it's cool for her. 39 degrees in North Carolina. That is cold for you. Hello, Ellie from Connecticut. Hello, Deborah from Virginia. Hello, T. Hello, Kim from Edmonton. Oh, and it's a chilly -16. Now, is that -16 Celsius, Kim? I'm assuming it's -16 Celsius because you're in Canada. And that's cold. That is cold in Celsius. That is like I'm not walking outside today weather. Today it was -8 Celsius here, which I just was like, yeah, no, not walking outside this morning because I'm hoping for better weather this afternoon. Some sunshine and a little bit warmer would be good. Hello, Deirdre from Mississippi, and you're frozen down there in Mississippi too, or at least chilly for you. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Mary. Hello, Tina. Hello, Sherry. Good morning. Okay, Tina, I did see this flash through afterwards. Tina says, what if you stamp the images on the opposite page rather than the page that you have stamped in it? Sure, you can stamp it on, do you mean just switching the sides because you don't like the side that I stamped it on? You could, yes. Yeah, like it could be on, like, instead of being on the back side of here. I don't know why I chose to stick this on this side and stamp this on, I mean, I don't know. You can, of course, flip it. It doesn't matter because either way, you're just closing this sheet to do the stamping. It's kind of like our old Stamparatus. It's kind of like a book. You're kind of just stamping it like that. It does take an extra step, but it does look nice. And you know what, if you make a mistake, well, I would just take an extra piece of paper and I would just like cut it to size and I would just cover it and do it again. That's what I would do. I haven't had, when I was cleaning this a little bit, I think I got a couple of water droplets on here, but for the most part, it came out clean. I think that was pretty good stamping on my part. Pretty pleased with the way it came out, and it does kind of make it nice because now I've kind of made a sandwich with it, and it protects the stamps. I will say you do want to make sure, especially on the flimsier sheet, you do want to make sure you put a line of adhesive all the way across and all the way to the bottom, because when I pull up that corner, I don't want to pull away that sheet away from this backing paper. So yeah, Tina, you stamp it on whatever side you want. I don't know why I chose that side. It was like a 50-50. There might be an argument for doing it the other way around. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Tina. Kimberly says it's very chilly but sunny in northern Indiana. Nancy said, lazy. I would never call you lazy. Did I call myself lazy? Maybe I don't know what I refer to myself as lazy, but I think if I was referring to the fact I wasn't going to do a new project, it's mainly just because it's right before Christmas, and it right now people aren't in buying new products to make Christmas projects mode, but we're kind of just having we're still creating, right? So awesome. Tina says, love it. Cannot wait to try it. Have a great holiday in Canada. Thank you. We are going up. My husband left a little bit early. My dear mother-in-law, she was in the hospital over the weekend. So my husband flew up, but she is out of the hospital now and is doing much better. And so hopefully she'll be still doing okay while we're up there. So my husband's going to make sure that she doesn't do too much work and focuses on her health. And so we were supposed to drive up, and now my husband flew up, and so I'm also going to fly up. It's kind of the stretch that we have to drive, especially this year with the weather, the way it's gone so far. I don't want to do that stretch alone. I don't know what kind of weather I'm going to encounter, so I would just rather not drive 9.5 hours myself. So we are both flying up instead of driving up, and so we'll see. Hopefully my flight will not get delayed or anything. So but it will be good. Canada's my home country. I'm a dual citizen, but I was born and raised in Canada, so it's always good to get back there and to see my parents-in-law, and our son will be there as well. So that's all I can ask for, right? Being with family. Doesn't matter where it happens. If it doesn't happen in Boston, I'm happy to go where the people are. That's what makes Christmas, right? Or the holidays. All right. Deirdre says, great card. She said she just got this set. So she says, thank you for the inspiration. So Deirdre, make sure you go back a few weeks. I think it might have even been a month ago when I did my last card with the pop-up petals, but you will also see another design that you can do with this card. T says, very pretty card. Have a safe trip and Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. That's very sweet. I hope you have a good Christmas, T, too, and enjoy having your son and your granddaughter with you. Sweet Pea says she caught the end. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. I'm glad you're here, though. Hello, Marge. Oh, Marge already said hello. She says, safe travels, enjoy the holidays, and see you in the new year. Absolutely. Oh, and Sweet Pea, you're in Massachusetts, just like me. Awesome. Tina said, I asked that because that way when you put the stamps back, they are facing you. I'm a little fussy, I guess. Oh, okay. I see. If you're putting your stamps back, yeah, you choose whatever side. I don't know why I started out doing it this way. And it also might make sense to stamp on the back, just because if there's any bleed through, and I don't know, maybe there was a little water droplet coming through here, but if there's any bleed through, it's going to bleed through on the back side. So that's a really good point. I will take that under consideration next time I do one of these, and I've done it only with a couple of maybe 3 of my stamp sets so far that I've got with the new format. So we're still learning. And hopefully I'm troubleshooting for you. And I appreciate these comments because it's very good for, our brain. It works in a certain way, but other people's brains work differently, and they might have a better way of doing things, and it forces you to think, yes, that might actually be a better way to do it. So I am so grateful when people suggest things, and so that we can try different things and do things a little differently. And yeah. All right. Oh, Sweet Pea, you're in central Massachusetts. Well, I'm in Sudbury, so I'm closer to Boston, but you're probably not super far from me. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday. I might see some of you on Friday, and then I will be back in the new year. I might drop a video or two while I'm gone, just depending on getting things done. I have a little bit more to focus and organize on my own now that my husband has left early. So we'll just kind of plow through and try and get as much done as possible. And you know what? I tell myself, even if it's not perfect, it will be good enough. We're often very hard on ourselves this time of year. So if you're stressed out, just, give yourself some grace and just say, you know what? You're doing the best that you can, and that will be good enough. All right. We can get through the holidays together. Okay. All right. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful holiday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.